Hello and good morning. So today's request is actually from about a month ago. I actually never got around to doing it and then kind of forgot about it, so sorry. Alright, so here's the deal. It's Dragonslayer Ornstein and Executioner Smough from the first Dark Souls. Basically, you know, remade his ACs to see how this goes. I tried to remake them as much as I could here. Try to put in as many references as I could. So with this guy, basically he's got his side things for his whole dashing around move. He's got ECM pods for his whole tendency to just like friggin' disappear in the middle of the fight and pop up behind you and stab you in the face. Got the parry blade for the spear. Got the Sawa for the lightning bolts, and basically went with this core because that looks just like the cross on his spear on the top of his head there, and that plume, you know, it's facing the wrong direction, but whatever, it looks like his red plume there. And so then over here, despite the visual glitch, is Executioner Smough. So he's not terribly accurate, he's entirely rocket-based except for his orc. This is the final version of him, more or less, so this is assuming that Ornstein goes down first and he gets his lightning powers. So basically gets the orc for some crappy laser beams, or lightning beams. We get the large rockets on the right arm, as well as the spread rockets on the back for, you know, kind of his long range and AoE type of stuff that he does with that giant friggin' warhammer. And then ridiculously well armored, because of course he is, that's his whole shtick. That and being a cannibal, but oh well. The beetle head would have been really cool on him, because it looks, you know, pretty much, not the beetle, what's it, the one they brought back from Phantasma. That one is like a dead ringer for his mask, but unfortunately it's not in this one. I might remake that one in Last Draven at some point. And we've got visual glitches out the nose here, as per usual. I don't know why we have sudden permanent water filter. Hang on, where's frame skipping? Oh yeah, frame skipping 2 gets rid of that for some reason. Frame skipping none gets rid of some of the other visual glitches. I don't know. It's kind of an experimental thing at this point. Wow, this is going bizarrely. Oh crap. Okay. Interesting. He's just kind of corner camping him. Huh. Alright, well, Smough's out of bullets, so that's that. Yeah, first one goes to the Dragonslayer. Both of them are a little bit iffy on the ammo department. I figured if one of them's iffy, they both gotta be iffy. So, you know, it's kind of how it goes. Basically, the thing was, in order to have their, like, more or less referential setups, it kind of had to be like this. I was considering to give them laser blades, but it just seemed off. I don't know, I tried it a few times, and then I would have had to make one of them a quad, and then, like, Ornstein specifically would have been a pretty decent blade quad, but it just didn't want to work right, and he also had a tendency to constantly overexert himself. I don't know if this awesome music is loud enough, so there we go. Yep. Friggin' ONF's just like the best friggin' boss in any RPG. Not necessarily for mechanics or anything else, but that first time you get there. Like, in case you haven't played it, here's basically the shtick, right? So, you have 3 subsequent, well, arguably 4 subsequent sections in a row. And, alright, I went to Smough. So, you're basically off in your starting area. It's like this rundown medieval castle type area. You get through a bunch of bosses, and then it's like, okay, this one gate you couldn't get through is suddenly opened up, and you get there, and it's just like a friggin' hell maze of traps. Like, if you've played a few times, you can get through it without any trouble. But yeah, so you go through this fortress that's literally just like Indiana Jones traps all over the place. You get to the very end, there's another boss, and it's like, okay, cool, I just beat the thing. And honestly, first time through, I was thinking, man, that could easily have been the end boss. Like, surely this is where it's done, you know, like, this is the game. Okay. They go through that, and you fight this boss at the end. It's like, okay, all you get is this weird glowy ring thing on the ground, so you go to it, get picked up by a bunch of, like, little wyvern things. They're like, I don't know what the hell they are. They're like little, I don't know, like white, demony wyvern-looking monstrosities. So, gargoyles, there we go. Weird albino gargoyles. So, you do that, and, like, they just pick you up, bring you over this giant wall that's just kind of been looming there the whole time, and you're thinking the whole time, like, okay, I've seen the top of this wall. This is all there is. And then they bring you to the other end of the wall, and it's just like this massive freaking, like, golden city, right? Actually, alright, well, that one went to Ornstein. Let's go ahead and make it best 4 out of 5, because I want to finish up the story. And so, yeah, you get to this massive golden city out of nowhere, and, like, seriously, just jaw dropped to the floor the first time I saw this thing. It is ridiculously good looking. And so you're thinking, oh, you know, this must be the very end again. You know, you climb down some stairs, and you see all these huge vistas and everything else, and so you're basically going and doing this, like, all kinds of ledge running and everything else, and more or less, like, almost platforming. And you get to the very end part of it, and there's just a castle there. There's a massive castle you've been seeing this whole time. And yeah, sure enough, you know, you're looking at it, and there's these, like, spears that come out, and the first time you have a chance to look around and see them, there's a good chance you saw a spear embed itself into the railing. Like, I mean, like a proper, like, giant lance thing. And there are these guys just firing these things off of giant bows there, and one of them, if you get hit by one of them, you're flying way backwards and getting sent way back to that part where the gargoyles carry you to. So it's a whole challenging thing to even get through there. Like, even if you have a shield up, it still knocks you back unless you have a super heavy one. So anyway, you get to the end of that. Like, okay, you know, surely there's a break here. There's just this giant doorway in the middle of that castle, and you walk through it. And really the only way to describe it is just to, like, look at that scene, because like, Ornstein is just there with a spear. He jumps down from a railing. Friggin' Smough walks up behind him with a giant hammer, and then this music kicks in, and up to that point it was just dead silence, and it's by far the most majestic music in the game. Like, oh my god, this has to be the last boss, and it isn't. But man, they will frickin' kick you in the teeth the first time you get there. That's not even a question. It happened to everyone. Oh, but man, seriously, one of the coolest, like, boss intro type situations ever. Like, even though you lose with a sense of, oh my god, that was awesome. Anyway, hopefully this was fun, and yeah, we got more Christmas stuff coming up next, so yeah, see you then.